This is Jay Teaches Reading for All, Lesson 83. In this lesson, ED endings are going to sound like D, like D, as in rubbed, as if the E was not even there. The E is just silent. So we have an unusual situation, or we had an unusual situation in Lesson 82, where ED endings sounded like T. Now we're going to have an unusual situation where ED endings sound like just D, D. And I want to remember to give teachers a chance to click on this, click on pause, and get a snapshot. So you can use that. Right there should have everything. You can use that snapshot to review the sounds of these letter combinations. And we're going to review beginning with 2 lessons ago, lesson 81, and LE endings sounding like ul. Students, say these words before I do. Apple. Paddle, pedal, puddle, cuddle, huddle, riddle, rattle, bottle, battle, cattle, kettle. And I'm going to try to get this whole page on here. We got muddy here. We've got huddle here. So teachers, if you think it'll be helpful, have the students read these words to you and then read the sentences to you. Press pause. And in lesson 82, the ED does a dipsy-do and sounds like a T, t at the end of these words. So students, say these before I do. Helped, sipped, tipped, tripped, picked, tricked, mopped, stopped, popped, flipped, slipped, linked, blinked. And did you notice that most of these ED endings came after a P, like in helped or stopped or sipped or tipped, and some others, or after a K, like in picked or tricked? Interesting. So that may be a clue for students to to decode a word and sound the ED as T as a good guess if it comes after a P or a K. All right, now whoops, I didn't give you teachers a chance to have the students read those to you if you'd like. Press pause. And now have the students read these true and false to you teachers. I think I got it all on there now. Go ahead, press pause. Now lesson 83, where the ED makes the D sound at the end of these words. Filled, stilled, rubbed, stubbed, stirred, blurred, gained, stained, mind, cared, scared, blared, snared, grilled, thrilled, loaned. And just interesting observation here. In the words stirred and blurred, I are and you are bossed by the bossy R to say But down here in cared and scared and blared, the R does not boss the A. So, and also snared, the R does not boss the A. So sometimes letters are going to follow one rule instead of another. And as the student is decoding a new word, they can make some good guesses. If it doesn't follow one rule, it may follow another rule. Students might need explanations about some of these, like blurred. If you get water thrown in your eyes, your vision could be blurred. You don't see clearly. Blurred means not clear. Blared, something that is really loud. Snared. Trap, set for a smaller animal, maybe a bird. This could be called a snare. So if the, say, bird gets caught in that trap or that snare, the bird is snared. Students probably have seen things cooked on the grill. So grilled, I think they'll know. Maybe loaned, where you give somebody something for a period of time so they can use it and they're planning to return it to you. So teachers, have the students read those words to you, give them a spelling test. I used filled, stirred, blurred, cared, and loaned. Again, use your own best judgment and press pause. Now have the students read each sentence silently one time, giving you a true and false, and then out loud the second time, giving you a true and false with a reason. Press pause. My answers. Betty was glad Sam loaned her 50 dimes. She gained riches. Well, this could go either way, I think. If Betty is young, 50 dimes would seem like a lot, and it would seem like riches. An older student might realize that 50 dimes is not it's not a super rich amount of money. It's going to be $5, so they may put false. So it could go either way. Number 2, Sally grilled burgers, grease stained her shirt. Well, that's why grillers wear aprons, to keep the grease off their clothes. And if Sally was not using an apron, it could happen. So this could be true. Number 3, the trumpets blared, the band thrilled the crowd. And blared means, they were blasting loudly, playing loudly. And the crowd, could be thrilled. It might be a parade. I can imagine where this could be true. Number 4, the ball player gained 50 yards in ping pong. This is false if the student knows anything about ping pong. It's not football. It's a game where you're not running down a field. So this would be false. And we're going to look at ED doing something else, but this time it's not so weird. This time, ED is going to sound pretty much like itself. Now, when I read these endings, like padded, I tend to read it more like if it was id, padded. That's me. Other people may read it more like ed, like padded. And other people may read it a little differently. So teachers, however you read it, that's how, you teach your student to read it. But because I'm the teacher and because I read it more like id, that's why I put it there. So I have seniority, so to speak. All right, we'll see you in lesson 84. And this is the last lesson of our sound out sheet. And I will be quizzing students on that sound out sheet for those students whose teacher, parent, or tutor has been quizzing them. They should have no problem. Other students hopefully will not have any problem either, but we will see in lesson 84. See you there.